Hello, campers, and welcome to the I Want to Be Famous podcast. Yes, this is a total drama podcast. We actually have a name for it now. It's been over a year, and we're finally back. Hi, this is your host, Isaiah, back with the Total Drama Island rewatch, but I can't even call it Total Drama Island anymore. This is a Total Drama rewatch because we are going to be talking about Total Drama Action. Yes, we have been getting many DMs over the past year of like, why hasn't this come back? Sabrina's married now and moved. I have a new job now. I'm still in the same place. So it's, I got a lot of stuff on my wall though. So, a lot of changes. But I'm here with my co-host, Sabrina. Sabrina, how are you doing?
Woo.
What is going on?
I'm doing good. I know it's been a long time since we did this podcast, but yeah, literally, I think we finished right before I got married. Is that right?
Yeah, okay. Somewhere around that.
Yeah. So yeah, got married, and then we moved less than a month ago. So yeah, it's been super busy and stuff, but I'm really happy to be back. It's been a long time since I turned on Total Drama Island again, so I'm happy.
Absolutely. Now, before we get started, for any of those listening or watching, we appreciate all the support. So if you enjoy this podcast, please drop a like or subscribe on YouTube. Comments are also welcome, as well as on the audio platforms. You can rate it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or actually leave a review. Tweet at us. We love all that stuff. Just let us know how you feel. We will be taking guests at some point. So every little bit helps, and we appreciate it. Now, Sabrina, it has been such a long time. You just started watching again. For those who didn't get the opportunity to watch the Total Drama Island podcast, I have watched all Total Drama before, but I had Lance and Sabrina watch Total Drama for the first time ever, and this is Sabrina's first time watching Total Drama Action ever, so you're getting raw opinions. But Sabrina, so we're not going to talk about the total, it's called the Total Drama Island episode, which is like a reunion episode afterwards, but we never did a recording for it. So
is that what it was called? Was it called the Total Drama?
Four dramas, yeah.
Four dramas. Okay.
Yeah. But how did you feel like your first time seeing all these characters again? Chris is up to his antics. I mean, how did you feel about it?
It reminded me of Ponderosa, and that was all I could think about the whole time. And it took me a minute to remember all of the names of everybody, the ones that were eliminated earlier on in the season, because it had been a solid 6 months since I had watched anything Total Drama Island. So I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I know these people, but shoot, I need to look this up on my phone. But I thought it was kind of a weird. I get that it was supposed to be a setup, obviously, for Total Drama Action because the money's still up in the air. And when I was watching it, my husband was like, would you do it? Would you risk 100,000 guaranteed to go for a potential $1 million? And I was like, no, I would take the 100,000 and leave. It's totally in my hands. I would absolutely take it and run. But obviously he was going to, go for the $1 million, Owen. So, but I thought it was fun. They, showed all of the old characters, and I liked how they just brought back all of their weird quirks and stuff. So that way, you get reminded of these people. So that way, when you go into season 2 and Total Drama Action, who these people are, and you're reminded of who's who. So I thought that was fun. And also, I like Izzy a lot more now. I was kind of on the fence with her, but then after this episode, I like her a lot. She's hilarious. She cracked me up. She's one of my favorites now.
I mean, I think her name was Kaleidoscope or whatever.
Yes,
now,
but she was like, I'm going to change her name to Kaleidoscope. And then he pulls that into Total Drama Action where she doesn't respond unless you call her Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, it's a mess.
She's so weird, but it's so funny.
I actually remember when I was younger, I named my Xbox username after her, Kaleidoscope.
Stop.
Yeah, I was such a fan. I was an Izzy fan when I was growing
up.
Now I don't want to spend too much time on this episode because it is technically still Island, but yeah. Was there any huge moments that really stood out for you? I mean, for those who haven't seen it, it's literally just an episode. As Sabrina said, they're looking for the check, the suitcase with all the money. Eventually, when it's sort of found, it gets destroyed. So I mean, you know what's going to happen. Everyone's thrown into Total Drama Action, who's in the water, and we'll touch on that in a second. But
Right.
was there any like breakout moments for you, Sabrina, that you were like, oh, that was funny or that was memorable? Miss this
I
person.
I loved how like Courtney was just like automatically back in the game because she was like, I want to win this. And she's back to her like competitive spirit. Of course, I know she's a fan favorite, and I like her a lot too. And when she had like the hot air balloon and she was like crawling over like the wall, and there was like a drive through like
Mm-hmm.
right next to like where the actual island was. I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute, where are they? Like, I don't know what's happening here. And it's like that was really weird. And then at the very end, whenever they decided who was going to be on Total Drama Action, like I didn't really understand that. Like, and I was mad because Courtney wasn't one of them, and like I feel like she was going to be in the running to win, and then she's not even going to be a cast. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah, so the way they had it, I mean, they needed to find a loophole to have another season, right? So they were like, anyone who made it to this point, you're going on the show. Anyone who isn't. Just for the viewers, Cody didn't make it. Courtney didn't make it. Eva, Ezekiel, Katie, and Sadie,
Yeah,
Noah, and Tyler, they all
yeah,
didn't make it. I was personally sad that Cody, Courtney specifically were not in here. I
yeah,
love both of them. Who doesn't love those two?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's the weird way they chose to do it. I mean, it's a cartoon, so I try not to question it too much.
yeah. I know.
But
It's one of those things
God,
that even though it's a cartoon, like we're so used to watching like the non-cartoon versions of
yeah,
these like shows, and so like you just get mad anyways, even though it's obviously not real. Like you still have
yeah.
like you're still invested in those characters, especially somebody like Courtney. So I was kind of upset about that one. But yeah, Izzy was definitely a standout for me that episode. Like she was hilarious to me.
All right. So I mean, I say we jump into action finally. So we're actually going to, instead of a draft this time, because I already know who wins. What we're going to do
Imagine
is
you do a draft with me. Like, seriously.
uh, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have a tier list up for anyone who's watching. You can see this on the YouTube, and if not, you're just listening. Just try to visualize it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Sabrina rank everyone that is in this season, basically based off of their first episode, and we're gonna try to predict who wins the season. Um, yeah, this can sort of be like Sabrina's like, who does Sabrina think is going to do well? This is all about Sabrina's prediction, and I guess when we're doing this, we can also talk about how they did this first episode as well. So,
Okay.
just to get it started, let me close it up a little bit. So let me put an elimination row under here because unfortunately we did lose someone real quick, and we will get to them at some point.
Okay.
But all right, the first person we have on our list, Sabrina, from season one is Beth.
Yes.
So Beth was our franchise nerd. We saw Beth coming from TDI with Lindsay and Heather in that alliance. Eventually, for Beth to kind of
Mhm.
like betray that group, she eventually got the little totem that was unlucky from Boney Island
Oh
and screwed her
yeah.
whole team over. But she has some big changes this season. She's kind of like more self dependent. She has no braces now. So I mean, Sabrina, how did you feel about Beth's in this first episode?
I love Beth, and she's a whole new woman with her braces off, and even Justin's like, "Hey, girl," like, so that's pretty cool. So I'm hoping that, yeah, she continues that attitude that she had in the last season about like, yeah, being like more independent, not having to rely on other people, and I think her and Lindsay might be a good duo. Like, I know they were close coming off of Teledrama Island because Lindsay was like, Heather, you suck, bye. And, becoming friends with Beth. But like the only thing I'm worried about with Beth is if she lets Lindsay take her like the wrong direction. Like, because obviously Lindsay's not the sharpest tool in the shed. So I don't know about Beth for that one. But I think she'll do okay. I think maybe she learned her lesson with the whole like unlucky idol thing that she found. So maybe she'll be a little more cautious with what she does.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say maybe like she'll maybe be top middle of the pack. Like, so I would put her maybe in like that B range or maybe
Okay.
even like low A range. I might rearrange it as we go along, but let's put her in the top of the B right now.
All right. So Beth will be the first person ranked B, not A, not S, but the middle. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong
B
with
for
that.
Beth. B for Beth.
Out of curiosity, just correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Did we lose someone this episode? I don't think we did, right?
No, no, because
It
Owen,
was a half.
yeah, Owen won the challenge to pick the trailer like
Oh,
choice.
beautiful. Oh, see, this is perfect. So we don't got to eliminate
No,
anyone.
there's no
Oh,
elimination.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah, so it's
Yeah,
perfect.
awesome. This is perfect for a first episode. Okay. Next, we have Bridget. We saw Bridget, the surfer girl. Oh, you're shaking your head already. We saw.
All she did was she was making out with Jeff from like the end of the reunion episode all the way through this first episode. Like she does not have her head in the game. And even whenever she went to her makeup professional and she was like, "Who am I kidding? Like I like Jeff, but I really like $1,000,000." And Jeff was like, "Yeah, I need to get my head in the game." And they're like making out 5 seconds later. Like no, goodbye.
Very disappointed because I remember first watching episode 1,
Yeah,
and you're coming off when Bridget was actually like, in my opinion, she played a really good game in her first
yeah.
season.
She
You
did
know,
so well. And like she even
yeah,
like mentioned that she liked Jeff, but like that she didn't want to get caught up. And she didn't. She like pushed him away. And then now she's like,
yeah.
"Oh, just kidding." Like, I don't
Like,
get
come
that.
on, yeah. So
She has
I don't know.
I think she should go a little bit lower, honestly. I don't think her and Jeff are gonna do that great. I think her only thing that would help her is if Jeff goes before her, then I think she would have a decent shot. But if they're gonna be staying together this whole time, like I don't think it's gonna last very long.
So where do we want to put Bridget at?
Um man, I think for now, I think she's gonna be in D tier, but then if Jeff leaves before her, she'll bump up.
Okay,
That's kind of my
so
like thinking right now. But like as
Bridget
of right
right now.
now, it's gonna be lower because she's just tied to this dude that she's like messing around with.
All right. Obviously, we're not going to get into these
Chef,
two.
S tier, S tier.
I will add a row for the host slash
Yes.
chef.
Winner at life is Chef.
Host slash chef. Just to give them their own little section. I mean, how do we feel about this?
Excuse
Oh,
me.
sorry,
Excuse me.
yeah,
Thank you.
I'm sorry. We love Chris McLean, but you love Chef first. How do we feel about just to have something to talk about them with the new
So
set? Go ahead.
the only part, like I giggle when I'm watching the show, but the one part I actually laughed out loud was whenever they showed Chef with the animatronic like suit. And he was like doing this. I don't know why
Yeah,
I laughed so hard. I was like, this is great. I love how like Chris always like makes the ideas, but it's always Chef that implements them. Like he's the one that
yeah.
actually does everything. Like even though it's Chris's idea.
He's such a great sidekick.
So good.
I loved Chef in action when like Chris was like gone for like a day and he got to host the show like
Yeah,
twice. Like,
that was so good. Yes, I hope that happens again. I'll be really happy.
um, I didn't ask, but first of all, how did you feel about the Hollywood studio idea instead of an island? Every challenge being centered around a genre of movies. How did you like the first challenge? How did you like everything?
I think it's really cool. Like I didn't realize that they weren't all on an island. Like I thought it was going to be like that, like just kind of like Survivor. I thought it was going to be like the same sort of theme like every season. So I had no idea it was going to be a totally different location. I thought it was really cool, and like it reminds me of whenever I played Victory House, the Mole. Shout out.
Mm,
It was the same kind of thing where every round was a movie genre, and it was super fun. Like I really enjoyed that, so I'm excited to see what they come up with every episode, like different challenges and stuff. So yeah, pretty cool.
all right. So let's get back into the cast. I don't know what you're doing here because that's a mistake.
Well, she should be up
Uh,
there higher. Is she coming back? Is that like a
she's not
sign?
even in it. She's
Is that
not
a
even in
sign?
it.
Is she going to be
So I
like
have
a
to put her
guest?
there. I don't know.
No.
She's not even there.
No.
But yeah, I have to get a better trailer. So I don't know what they did that for.
Yeah.
But all right, here's the next person. So you got DJ.
Oh, DJ. He was so scared of the monster.
I mean, DJ's always been a scaredy cat.
I know. I mean, he didn't do bad on the first season. Like he was like towards the top.
Yeah.
So like I think he's got potential. I would put him definitely above Bridget for sure. I would put him in C tier for now. I think if he could get over his fears, then he would do really good.
I mean, so I mean, a big thing for DJ that I think helped him in his first season was that he was like, yes, he was scared, but like he really worked well with the guys.
Yes, exactly.
Do you think he should be trying to do another guys thing, or maybe we should switch it up?
I think so because I know that like his like guys that he worked with are pretty much all in this season. So like I think that's going to help him out a lot.
It was Duncan, Jeff, and Owen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so they're all there. Yeah, and I think they have a great shot of like if they work together again.
Okay. All right. Next, we got, speaking of guys, we got Duncan back.
Duncan, yeah, he's a really good player too. Like I think
Yeah.
he's gonna do really well again. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean,
no,
we saw him as just a huge strategic
yeah,
mastermind
mhm.
of a lot of the stuff last season. I think the other people who were great at strategy outside of him was like I want to say like Heather and Gwen,
Yeah,
but Duncan definitely the best guy in our opinion, or you and Lance's opinion at least when we left that last season.
yeah,
I mean, no Courtney here to distract him.
true.
I mean, how are we looking? I mean, he didn't do horrible his
Yeah,
first challenge. It seems like the guys still like him.
yeah,
Um, the only kind of like weirdish thing I don't know if you caught that one with that is like him and Trent are kind of like I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think it is true that like having Courtney not there is good for him because like I think he's still going to be a smart guy without any help. But because he was in good with the guys and they're all there, I still think that's going to help. I think those four guys are going to do pretty decently because they're all there and they don't like hate each other yet. I mean, things
Hmm.
could change, of course, but yeah, I think he's still a smart player. So I would put him up pretty high. Honestly, I would put him A tier for now.
Okay,
Yeah, I think he's going to do
Duncan
well.
is our new highest rated player.
Yeah.
All right, so next we got Mr. Party Dude Jeff. We kind of spoke about him during the Bridges segment, but I mean, how do you feel about Jeff? Yeah, like Brittany,
Man,
just they're making out the whole time.
yeah, like I feel like it's the same thing with Bridget. Like if they're together, they're not going to do so hot. But and if Bridget leaves before him, like as long as he's in with those guys, he'll be fine. But I don't think he'll do well by himself. Like as opposed to Duncan, who would do good by himself. Like I don't think Jeff would.
Is there a chance that Jeff and Bridget can end up like Katie and Sadie last season, where one was split up and then the other one just completely gave up?
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Okay,
And I feel like it would be Jeff.
okay. Who do you think is going to go between Jeff and Bridget first?
It might be Bridget because if Jeff still has that guys alliance and like the other guys all coming together, I feel like they would have the numbers because we kind of saw a little bit of this whenever they picked their trailers because as soon as all the guys got in the trailers, they had no issues and they picked their beds and they went to sleep. But with the girls, they were already having issues of like numbers of like, oh, like Heather like is by herself basically, and then Gwen and LaShonda are together, and like so it was already kind of clicky, and so like I feel like those alliances are already forming, and Bridget's not really in one right now.
Okay.
So I feel like if it comes to a vote, I feel like Bridget could lose out on that. Like Jeff would have more numbers.
All right, so I guess we're putting Jeff above Bridget.
I think so, barely, but yeah,
Both still D tier.
yeah.
Okay. Next, we got our canonically for our watch, the second placer from last season,
Whoop, whoop.
Gwen.
My girl Gwen.
You loved Gwen last season. I mean,
Love
how
her.
what's the vibe on Gwen this season, Sabrina?
I still think it's good because she's got what Trent and LaShawn are. They're kind of like that little three-person alliance right now, and like it's from the end of like the episode before. So I think they're still going to be together. And I think the only downfall for her is that like she probably have a target on her back because she was so close to winning last season. So I could see that being a problem. But she's still smart and she's still like ready to play. So I would put her up pretty high too. I would put her like right after Duncan. I think
Okay.
in A tier.
So this season's very interesting because this is the first time that you're getting to experience like pre-existing relationships. You
Exactly.
know.
Yeah. So I'm really having to think about it. It's not just like first impressions. It's like what I saw last season. I'm like, what is already being carried over. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll go with that.
All right. Next, we got Harold.
Harold
Um,
is interesting.
he is an interesting character because I don't think there was ever a scenario last season where Harold garnered enough respect from people.
Yeah.
Um, we did see him do very well in challenges. Shockingly, he was like
Yes.
the person that won them a lot of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him and Lashana kind of have like a showmance, but like it doesn't really seem to be carried over here.
No, because like whenever like during the reunion when he comes up to her and is like, "Hey, girl," and Shauna's like, we can be friends." And I'm like, "What is happening?" Like, so yeah, that's definitely not happening. But I'm sure down the line, not so much like a showman's, but maybe like a friendship between the two of them might help them out, especially
Okay.
Harold. And then also with Harold, like there was like a brief moment with him and Heather where Heather kind of realized that like he is a smart guy and like knows his stuff because like he showed it off a lot last episode that he knew like about like the animals and like what to
Hmm.
watch out for, and then he helped rescue Heather. So I don't know. I could see potentially maybe an alliance there working out. And Heather's
Hmm.
obviously so smart. Like I that could really come to his advantage for sure. So like I think he could do pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if he went far. So I think I want to put him top of B tier. So like above just above Beth.
Okay.
Yeah.
The nerd archetypes right under the dominant
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Heather's an interesting one because
Yeah.
Heather's coming in here with a lot of beef.
Sure. And
Everyone does not like her.
right. And I feel like at first she had Lindsay and she had the whole like popular girl thing like above her, and that kind of helped carry her for a while. And I think people are just over the intimidation tactics, and I don't think it's going to work to her advantage anymore. I think she has to be. I think she's going to either fake being nice to like gain alliance members or just win out because otherwise she's done. Like I don't think people are going to keep her. Like it doesn't seem like this cast is one to like keep a shield, you know, kind of thing. Like
Hmm.
obviously last season they just got people out who they didn't like, so I think she's going to have to fake it, and that could get her far. But I don't know. It's kind of tough with her. I really do think she has to make that alliance with Harold because if she doesn't, then she's kind of screwed.
Let's also remember this is the same show that let Harold switch votes.
Oh my god,
That
that's right.
that got Lashana out because of a parrot, and all of them
uh,
saying this.
I
There's a
forgot
lot
about
of
that.
crap with this show as
That's
well.
true. That's true. That's true. So really,
Production
everything I'm
interference.
saying could just be totally like
Who
irrelevant.
knows? I mean, ultimately, you and Lance guessed a winner in Owen last season, so I mean, you never know.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put her. Okay, I think I'll put her end of B tier, like behind Beth.
All right.
Yeah, I think she'll do well again, but yeah, I think it depends on a lot of stuff.
Okay. Next, we got Kaleidoscope. Izzy.
Now, what did she call herself? E-scope for short?
E-scope. Yeah.
So stupid. I can't. She makes me laugh. Like, she's just so crazy. I just can't.
Yeah. She has alter egos this time.
Oh my god, yes.
I liked her little thing that she had going on with the monster. I
Oh my
thought that
god.
was
And whenever she
something.
was like, we had a great night last night. And then Chris was like, I am so glad I stayed in the other trailer. I was like, excuse me, this is a child's show. Like, what are
Like,
we
Chef, what were you
insinuating?
doing with that? Chef, what were you doing? Like, what's going on?
Like, please stop. Uh,
Um, it doesn't seem like her and Owen's thing carried on either.
no, like, and Owen still likes her a lot, but yeah, she's just totally oblivious to it again, which is
Yeah.
also kind of weird. I don't know why that wasn't even partially mentioned. It was just kind of like
Hmm.
she's back in her own little
Well, I mean,
world.
she's
But
crazy, so I get it.
yeah,
Like the Lashana Harold one was a lot more like, okay, like why? But this one, I'm like, I mean, it's Izzy. I don't
yeah, I
care.
guess
So,
yeah,
yeah.
you're right. I think she is gonna be kind of like last season, where her just randomness will help her to win stuff. Like she doesn't even try and she'll win stuff. But at
Yeah.
the same time, aren't really gonna I don't like align with her because the people she aligned with for the $1 million challenge aren't playing this season, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Well, so yeah, I
because
don't think so.
it was Eva and was it Noah?
Yes,
Okay, yeah,
it
so they're
was.
not even playing. So anybody that she was previously working with isn't there. So I think it's gonna be hard for her. But I think she's gonna be also like Harold with a bunch of loophole things happening. I think it's gonna involve her a lot.
Yeah.
So I could see her doing okay. So I think also like middle of the pack. So I'm thinking like a C tier, the top of C tier, so above
Okay.
DJ. I think, yeah,
All right. A few people left.
sure.
So Justin, shockingly, I was kind of shocked that they brought Justin back.
Yes, I was so
Yeah.
confused. Like he was almost nothing in his first season, and then he comes back and he's like dominating the $1 million challenge. Like, what is going on here? It was really weird to me. I don't really get that.
I think they were like, there's some missed potential that we had with Justin, and I think they're working hard this time to like actually have him have a personality.
It's almost like
Um,
too much though. Like
yeah,
it's too much in that one direction of being I'm pretty. Like I don't know.
yeah,
It was kind of annoying after a
and the
while.
girl's still falling for it. I'm like, y'all
What?
not over
Yeah.
that?
After all that time, and you're just like, oh my god, he's still beautiful. Let me give him this $1 million. Like I don't. Weird.
So stupid. Owen too. I forgot about
Even
that.
Chef, whenever he picked him up, like with the monster, and he's like, "Oh my god," he was like, "That kid's hot." I was like, "Stop."
Oh my god. How are you feeling about Justin here?
What? Remind me how he got eliminated last time. Do you remember? Like, what were the circumstances?
um God, I don't remember. I mean, I
I
could
know.
search him up. I remember he was so irrelevant last season. I mean, I
I
remember there was a
know.
scenario where he was doing the it wasn't the sleeping challenge, but I remember he painted his eyes.
Yes.
Um the it wasn't the talent show because I remember he took his shirt off and then he got like almost full. Let me see. How did Justin lose total drama island? God, like he's so irrelevant. It says he fails to win immunity for his team and they voted him off this episode because Heather convinced Beth and Lindsay and Owen, who she bribed with cake, and Izzy to vote her. Okay, so I
Okay.
remember that Heather was supposed to go and then Heather convinced her alliance and then bribed Owen to
Okay.
get to vote with them with cake, and then Izzy's crazy. So I remember that. Yeah, I
And he's just
remember
crazy.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, I it's hard because he did so good with the $1 million challenge. So like I just want to put him like straight in F because I feel like that he only has one trick. Like that's it. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't do anything else except for like his looks. So like I feel like what's gonna happen is something's gonna happen with his looks. He's gonna get like his hair is gonna be messed up, or something's gonna happen to where that's how he probably goes. And he might
Okay.
like lose all of his confidence, whatever. So I'm gonna put him in F for now.
Okay.
I feel like that's too obvious, but that's just how I feel.
All right. Justin, the lowest and first person in F. All right. We got five more. So next we got the robbed queen of Total Drama
Robbed.
Island,
Robbed.
Lashana.
Oh, I'm still so mad at it. That was so stupid. Again, it's a fake show, but it still pisses me
Such a good
off.
character, that man, you know?
Ah, yeah, that was so lame. Yeah, she was such a good player. Like she did so good until she got out. Ah, yeah, I clearly she has the potential still, and clearly she's liked by everybody because they accidentally like voted her out and they didn't mean to. Oh, so I can see her doing well. Like I think it's kind of sucks that she's like the third wheel in that little alliance that she's got, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a feeling that if that alliance stays together, then maybe it's going to be Gwen kind of deciding between like her boyfriend and her best friend kind of situation. I feel like that's going to come
Mm.
around at some point. I don't know what she would do. Like I have a feeling that Gwen might pick Lashana over Trent if it came down to it, but who knows? I mean, this show is ridiculous. So, but I think she'll do pretty good again. So I think I'm gonna put her. I think I'll put her in B tier, and I think
Okay.
I'll put her between Harold and Beth.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Next we got Lindsay, the Heather's old sidekick. This is our first time seeing Lindsay kind of be her own player after cursing Heather out last season.
It's so good.
Uh,
So good.
she's not calling everybody Tyler because there is no Tyler this season. She's no distraction.
Yes.
How do we feel about Lindsay this time? She seems to have a good friendship with Beth.
Yes, which I
Um,
like that for them too. But like I was worried about before with Beth hanging out with Lindsay, I feel like she's kind of like I don't know how to even say this, but like she's almost acting more dumb around Lindsay than she is without her. It's so weird. Like whenever they had the $1 million challenge, like Beth was acting like an idiot. Like she was just like, oh la la la, like I don't see we're having girl time, and there's the chest is like right there hanging on the tree.
yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like Beth would like notice that immediately if she wasn't with Lindsay. So I think that's gonna be a problem. And I love how Lindsay, whenever they got their trailer, Lindsay was like, I don't want to sleep next to Heather because like her meanness will leach into me or whatever she said. It's like I can't with her.
She's so petty now. I love
Yeah, but she's
it.
so obsessed with like hating Heather. So I think that might get her in trouble. So like
I mean, I don't blame her. She got played really bad.
oh, for sure. Like she's like
Yeah.
it all makes sense. Like I understand why she feels
Yeah.
that way. So I think if Beth like gets her head in the game, she'll help Lindsay out a lot. But Lindsay just like doesn't really care. She just wants to go to France. That's whatever. So I think she'll be. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna put her in like end of C tier or like early D tier. I'm trying to like decide
Mm,
what I want to do. Um, I don't know. I feel like the dynamic of her and Beth is going to be like take them a little further because I feel like anybody who's got like a legitimate connection is going to go further just because like
okay.
storyline purposes. But
New connections could also be formed.
this is
Remember that.
true, and of course I don't know that yet. So, let's go end of C tier.
All right.
Yeah.
Lindsay's hitting C tier. All right. We have the reigning champion of season one, Owen, back after foolishly giving up his money.
Seriously.
Um, I mean, do we think Owen can run it back and be a two-time winner, Sabrina?
Honestly, kind of because he already won like the first like two challenges. Like how? Like he just like falls into these wins. I feel
Yeah.
like most of them at least. Like he even almost won the $1 million challenge. He was like really close to it. So like what? I just feel like he still has it. Like I think he
He's
could
a likable
absolutely.
guy.
Yeah, and that too. Like people still like him. Like they're not on his back yet. So yeah, he's gonna go. I think he'll be above Duncan. I think he's gonna be the A tier. Yeah.
Nobody S tier, you think?
No, not at the moment. I would put Courtney there, but
Okay. So you think Owen might run it back?
yeah,
All
I think
right.
he could.
Lastly, I don't know why I'm so annoyed. Anyway, lastly, we got Trent
And
coming back. He was honestly a plot device his first time around.
yeah. Mhm.
He was Gwen's crush. I think that was his identity.
Yeah.
He kind of had some moments of like being his own person, like when it was like a guys versus girl challenge
Yeah.
last season. But honestly, like Trent's whole personality was just being Gwen's boyfriend.
Yeah.
But we're back. There's times for change. How do we feel about Trent after the first episode?
So you're right. Like I think like because they're officially together, like they're boyfriend girlfriend, and that's gonna help them out. But yeah, I don't know. Like part of me wants to put him low because he didn't do much last season. But then again,
Mhm.
it is a whole new season, so he could totally be different. Um, Man, I don't know because I don't really even know what his strengths are to be honest. Like he didn't really do a whole lot before.
It was just like he was just a laid back guy.
Yeah, just chilling, playing
I
his
remember
guitar.
I remember the episode, the food episode where Lindsay said that she took biology. He took one for the team and ate the puffer fish and he got poisoned.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, he's a team player. It's just like, but is that going to take him to the end? You know.
Yeah, I don't know, like because he's not in any guy alliance, is he? He's not in that.
I don't think there's really any alliances formed yet outside of like what him, Gwen, and Lashana, and
Yeah.
then I guess Lindsay and Beth kind of have like this super strong friendship at the
Yes.
moment. But it may be some with like Harold and Heather, but sort of. But like, yeah, I mean, obviously Jeff and Bridget are like they're a showman. So,
Right.
but there's nothing really like concrete right now, which is why this is such an interesting place to have a podcast where there's no eliminations yet. So
Yeah. I'm thinking that him and Gwen together are stronger than Jeff and Bridget together, but Gwen is still the strongest of the two, so that's why she's up there in A. So I think I want to put Trent at the top of D, so still before like Jeff and Bridget,
okay,
but I don't know what he's going to bring. Like, so I don't really know what his strengths are, so I'm just going to put him a little bit lower.
all right. And lastly, so I'm going to circle back to this at the end of the season, but who are your top three picks for who's going to win this season?
Okay.
Is it these three or is there anyone else?
Um, I think I might go with somebody else. I'm trying to think. Oh, I do think Duncan's in the running for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then I kind of want to pick Harold. I feel like he's kind of a dark horse here, and I feel like he was so good last season that nobody really like saw that, and I think they're gonna
Okay.
like underestimate him again. And then let's see. Let me get one more. I don't know. I think Owen. I think he has a real shot of getting to the end again.
So your picks: Harold, Owen, and Duncan.
Yeah.
Okay. The girls are taking the L in this
Yeah.
podcast, everybody. Um, but
Unfortunately.
all right, and your number one pick being Duncan.
Yeah. Let's go with Duncan. Why
Okay,
not?
so those are Sabrina's picks. We will be back here in how many episodes it's going to take to see if Sabrina is right. Yeah, that is your rankings. Okay. So, lastly, I want to ask you, Sabrina, what are some expectations you have for the season? What do you want to see? Is there anyone that you want to have like revenge from the previous season? Like, what are your predictions for the season?
So it was fun seeing Heather get her comeuppance, but at the same time, she's gone through all of that. So I don't want that to happen again because I feel like that would be kind of boring. So I kind of want her to rise up again a little bit and like get back on the top, at least for a little while, because it is fun to like watch the back and forth happen. So I think that'd be kind of
Mm-hmm.
cool. And then I kind of want Beth and Lashana to redeem themselves because I feel like they both got out in like kind of crappy ways. So I would like to see them like really triumph at some point or like, get far would be awesome. And then yeah, I feel like everybody else like just to do their thing. Like I like them. I really like them. I mean, they're all really entertaining. So like this is a good group to like come back for season 2. So I'm excited to see like what crazy stuff they get into because like most of them are strategists. So like it'd be cool to see like how they come up with like their alliances and votes and stuff. So that'd be kind of cool.
All right. Well, there you have it. This is episode 1. This is I was gonna call it episode 0, but no, this is episode
Yeah.
1 of the I Want to Be Famous podcast. Everyone that's watching or listening, thank you so much. We have Sabrina's predictions with either Duncan, Harold, or Owen winning. Let's see if she is correct. Very excited. We're going to have some guests. A lot of people have joined Silent Podcast since we created this. So excited to have a lot of fresh new faces on. I'm sure we're going to see Lance at some point, and it should be a great time. But until then, Lance. Oh my God, Lance. Wow, Sabrina. Sabrina, where can people find you? And what are you up to?
So yeah, I just moved, so it's been crazy. But if you want to follow me, I'm at Sabrizi2492 on Instagram and Twitter. I like to pop in and just kind of scroll the timeline. But I'm lurking. Yeah.
All right. And for me, if anyone's interested, you can follow me down here at 8 Ball Bangers. Where you can find me, Big Brother's coming up. So, the Big Brother podcast.
Mhm.
Surely we're looking for a custom name for that too. So, until I name that as the Big Brother podcast, but, over here at Silent Podcast, you can hear me talking about that as well as RHAP. We got a movie podcast coming up with a new Silent Podcast. Remember Mark Levy, where we talk about movies every week, so you can look out for
Nice.
that. And then me and Jake Schwartz, another Silent Podcast that just came up. We're making a Marvel and DC podcast. So
Ooh, I want to guess on that one.
I would love for have you know that.
Yeah, my husband wants to guess on it too.
He can come too. And then lastly, me and Katie and Naomi have been talking about Obi-Wan Weekly. Our last episode for that will be this week, so just tune into that.
Nice.
But until next time, thank you, campers. Have a good one. Bye.